Today was the first day back after spring break. And spring break, sometimes it feels like that week off is just sort of a tease. So you're like, man, it's so nice. Like my body can finally, like after a couple days, like relax, actually start sleeping better. And then, 2 days later, it's back in the routine. It was okay. But today was the first day of the last 9 weeks. So, I teach 8th graders, and they are 9 to 10 weeks away from technically being in high school. And so part of what I did today in class was I talked about how to average, because I mentioned it in my first period of class, and I had multiple blank looks, like they had no idea what I was talking about. Like you need to have at least a 70 to be considered passing for either the year or the semester or whatever. And if they end up passing my class, which is just a semester class, not only do they pass, but they get high school credit. So I had to break it down and show them how to look at their grades, what numbers they were adding together, get the total, divide by 2 for the 2 9 weeks. Same thing for year-long classes, like your first semester, second semester average. I was surprised by how many students acted like what I was telling them was brand new information. When, they've had grades for most of their time in school, especially in junior high. Like they kind of know passing, failing, and then I talked about you don't want to be in the bubble. Like the last week of school, you don't want to be wondering, am I going to pass a class? Do I have to go to summer school? Talked about how if you do your average right now, it's not where you'd like it to be. You have 9 to 10 weeks to try to be a bit more proactive and know what you're working toward. I said, I don't know about y'all, but I don't like going to summer school. There have been years that I've taught summer school. And so, I don't know. Hopefully, some of those students who needed to hear that, I hope it sunk in, because I do want them to be successful and I do want them to actually enjoy their summer. But anyway, so that was the first day back. My head hurts a little bit. Kind of got out of my routine of taking a restroom break whenever I wanted. It's a luxury as a teacher. Now I have to get back in the routine of okay, this time of day, lunch break, end of school. Like that's pretty much it. Not that you needed to know. But I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, today, first day back, was maybe a 6. It was okay. It was alright. The kids were, excited to be with their friends again, so there was a lot of socializing. And a couple kids in my last class were playing games on their computer rather than doing the assignment. So I was like, dude, you had a whole week off to play games. What are we doing? You can play that at home. And he looked at me and he was like, Miss, play a school game at home? He's like, that's so cringy. And I'm like, well, can't be any worse than playing a game when you're at school and you should be doing an assignment. And I said, first of all, that game that you're playing is not a school game. Let's get that straight. So, they like to test limits. They're kind of like toddlers in a way. But good news is, made it through the day. It was all right. And we are in the last 9 weeks. So that's something to look forward to too. We'll see how the rest of the 9 weeks goes.